Okay, so now let's get into the more recent project you've been working on, and that is Deer Camp 86, which releases full feature-length film, kind of horror comedy genre, releases tomorrow as the date of this recording. So that'd be May 31st in 150 theaters around the country, and which is pretty exciting. My daughter actually went to the screening here a week ago, and I realized it was the film that you had shared with me a while back that you were editing and working on. So I'm excited to go see it. And I think we're going to just share the trailer for people here on YouTube, and then maybe we'll talk a little bit about the editing process and if you'd like.
Definitely.
Cool. Let's roll it, Evan.
The buck stops here.
Oh, come on, let's get to camp before dark, Buck.
Tough titties, my liver's itching.
Let's get those drinks in the air, make a toast to the high!
All right, go. Pulled one deer tag before we even got out of the truck. They smell that.
You boys were at the Peace Pipe last night, weren't you? Bartender was found murdered this morning. Too many of our girls go missing. Outsiders come up here and take more than venison.
We did not come up here to get in any trouble, Your Honor.
Nope.
There's no hiding from the sins committed on these lands.
It's playing with us. Words pray.
Where are you going?
I'm going back to Detroit, where it's safe.
It definitely has a very, unique brand of humor. You know, I don't even know how, some crude humor, definitely. But then it's got some great, moments of suspense, a couple of jump scares and like that kind of stuff too.
Well, I look at it and I'm like, this looks like fun. I mean, this is, I grew up there. I mean, not that far away from there. And this is the same culture though.
Yeah.
I mean, we weren't from Detroit going up there, but those guys, from what I've seen in the clip, could actually be from there.
Yeah.
Maybe not even Detroit, but just kind of guy humor.
Yeah.
Smell my finger. I don't know what happened before that.
Right.
and then the deer hanging and dangling.
Oh yeah. It's definitely it's definitely that kind of movie. Yeah.
His liver's itching. Like, it's just, I mean, it looks entertaining to me. So I'm excited to go see it.
Yeah, I definitely think it is. It was a really fun movie to work on for sure. I mean, it's kind of like my younger self's dream to have worked on something like this. You know what I mean? Definitely. So, the acting is really good, which makes my job as an editor even more fun because it's like, you're the actor that people don't see. You know what I mean? Like you're helping, whatever, like craft this thing into the most, the thing that works the best sort of thing. So, I don't know. I feel, I feel very grateful to have had the opportunity to work on it, but also I had a lot of fun too. The process itself, just got to make a movie with my buddies basically, you know? So,
so how'd that process work? Let's get into that a little bit.
Yeah. So if I recall, so my friend Eric Mishila is the one that wrote the script for this. He, he's kind of the one that I think really poured a lot of himself into it in that sense. And our other friend Harold Cronk is the director of the film, and he also, those two guys together, like, are great like collaborators and just good friends and all that kind of stuff. And then I was just lucky enough to be brought in to help them edit it together. I think I read a draft of the script at one point and gave some thoughts on it as well. But basically we're at the filming location. I had a room set up So I actually went to set.
Okay, nice.
And I was editing in proximity to the set. I wasn't actually on the set, but I was at like a house on a lake not too far away. And so at the end of each day, you know, they'd get their scenes shot, and then I would get the footage, but I'd be working on the previous day footage, just editing the scenes together. And so by the time we got done filming, you know, we had a bunch of scenes put together already. And it also, I think, was helpful for the guys filming it as well, because they could come and watch.
Oh, yeah.
And sort of like created, even a rough cut form, you know.
Sure.
But I did my best to put some like sound effects and even some music. You know, I think a big inspiration for this film is the movie Predator.
Oh, yeah.
With Arnold Schwarzenegger. And so I would just, even in the editing, I'd just like use that music sometimes as like temp music, just to kind of like give the feel to life a little bit, you know. Yeah, and then once we wrapped shooting, I think Eric and I just kind of like got together in our editing suite and just kind of put the rest of it together in just a few weeks, basically, to get it to a rough cut. And then I guess one of the challenges with that is that being that it's like a lower budget film and stuff like that, we actually had less, like the movie was too short, basically, you know.
Okay.
So, and I think we were a little surprised by that, because we literally only cut one scene out of the movie, which wasn't.
That's got to be unusual, I would think.
I think it is, yeah. It wasn't even really a scene. It was like, there's just a part in the movie where the guys are all at separate parts in the woods, and then they all have to kind of run back together, and it's just one shot of them running through, and it just wasn't necessary for like the story, you know, and we're like, oh, well, let's cut that. That's the only thing we cut. We used everything else, and I think our first edit was somewhere, I think it was like 77 minutes or something like that, which we were told is just too short to be like a sellable feature-length film.
Right.
So we had to get creative and find ways to make it a little bit longer to get to that length. But even without, you know, it doesn't really hurt the story. It's still a fun movie to watch, and like, it's a great length, you know, it's not too long, it's not too short, kind of thing. It just feels like that, good throwback to those kind of like B-movie horror film kind of things, you know, where it's just a good fun ride, you know, with some good action and suspense and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah, entertaining. Like every movie doesn't have to be like this big grand Titanic type thing.
Right.
It can just, you know, it's a great genre.
Yeah.
Or just a fun night out.
Yeah.
With friends.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. So, and the font looks cool. You know, it's got like that throwback kind of.
Oh, I love the throwback aspects of it.
Yeah,
I was like, man,
the movie poster is cool, and then like I said, the acting is really great. And the music score is awesome. The direction is great. Yeah, it really came together nicely. So I think we're all proud of it and excited to see, you know, what can happen with it, obviously. But
I'm just shocked at how efficient you were able to do it and to edit that quickly, at least for your rough draft. I mean, it's probably got to be helpful, like you said, for those actors to kind of see their work right away and inspiring a little bit.
Yeah.
I think it'd keep momentum rolling in some sense. And
I think there were definitely scenes that were very difficult to edit, you know, but when the acting is good and like the camera work was great. I mean, what they did with the camera work was crazy in this movie for what they had to work with too, was, you know what I mean? But it really, from my perspective as an editor, a lot of the incidental stuff I didn't have to worry about as much, because they did a good job on that stuff. And so for me, it's more about the pacing, you know, just the overall timing of things, how the music's gonna kind of like fit together with the performances and the sound effects, and you know, I could just kind of focus my attention more on that instead of cutting around, like, you know,
mistakes
or exactly,
bad timing or things.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So we were able to edit it quickly. It still took a long time for the film to get finished, and then go through the whole, you know, there's a whole process that goes on after you've, you know, I say finished, but it's not, you know, it has to go through, you know, like a whole sound mix and color correction and all these things that take quite a bit of time as well. And then, you know, finding the right distribution partner, I think, took a while. So we filmed this, I think, in 2020, October of 2020.
Okay.
Uh,
Scary year.
yeah, right. Oh yeah, it was definitely a COVID production. Everyone, yeah, it was crazy. It had like masks and stuff, and which that was a different time of life,
Yeah,
obviously for everybody. But
Sure.
um,
But to pull stuff off at that time is impressive on its own,
yeah. And it was it's excuse to get out and do
Yeah.
something.
outside.
Yeah,
Get some fresh
exactly.
air.
Right. So, yeah, I think I don't know if there's much else to say about it other than it's going to be in theaters. And
So now it looks like from what I saw the other day, I know they have a link in their Facebook page and maybe the website, actually, where it's playing. I think it's down from a Grand Rapids, West Michigan standpoint. I think it's downtown at Studio Park.
yeah,
I'm not sure if it's in any other local theaters. It might be. They might be updating that because this was a few days ago.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that release schedule is, but that's probably where I'm going to go see it. Actually, I one more thing. I think I read that this won an award at one of the film festivals.
it did. It won the best special effects at the Scream Fest Horror Film Festival in Los Angeles.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I
So,
look forward to seeing those.
yeah.
Also, so well, thanks for joining us, Scott. Anything
Yeah,
else you'd
thank
like
you.
to share before we leave?
Oh man, I don't think so. But
Okay.
No, I appreciate you taking the time to have me on, and yeah.
Great having you from the audience. Go check out the film. Hurry up because we're not sure how long it'll be there. Also, some of these other docs and stuff, we'll link them. But a lot of fun stuff that you get to explore. So thanks again. See you next time.
They tell me that I'm never gonna make it. They want me to do something that could make sense. They hate when I keep dreaming I'll be famous.